Something I wanted to talk about is something that might be a little bit personal to you, but you also spoke about this publicly, to be fair.
Okay.
It's about your arrogance.
Yes.
Are you an arrogant person? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hijab, how you doing, my man?
How you doing, brother?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. So first and foremost, you're an Oxford graduate. You're non-controversial, and you're the best.
No, I'm
Allahumma
actually
barik.
controversial.
You are.
But what is controversy? Is just defending an idea which is, people differ on it.
Yeah.
What isn't controversial? Even scientific ideas are controversial nowadays. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, even mathematical ideas can be, to a lesser extent, I must admit, right?
Yeah.
Controversial, but any ideological position is controversial by definition.
It's a very good point.
It's just that when the white man says it, his controversy is acceptable. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we need to kind of get right.
100%. Why is it acceptable? Because he's white, or?
No, it's simply to do with power politics.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, let me give you a thought experiment, yeah?
Okay.
If you've got two people, right? Let's say two lesbian women in the street,
Okay.
right? And then you have a Muslim man who goes to these two lesbian women and he asks them, do you mind if I ask you, why are you lesbian? And everyone's watching this. This is a public spectacle.
Yeah.
They turn around and say, it's none of your effing business.
Yeah.
Leave us alone. This is a free country.
Yeah.
Most people would agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
If you have a hijabi woman walking in the street and you have, say, a white man approaching the hijabi, why you're wearing what you're wearing? Same question or similar kind of questioning.
Yeah.
And she turns around with the same response,
Yeah.
even though technically it's like for like. Technically, that wouldn't be seen as an acceptable recourse.
That's very true.
And the reason why is because the dominant ethic has allowed us to think that, at the end of the day, we're the other. We are the exception, they are the rule.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a logical starting point. So we have to try and balance or to even turn the tables over, to be honest, as what
Yeah,
Zach
100%.
and Nike used to say, you turn the tables.
Yeah. He's a legend, man. Allah
He's a
bless him.
legend.
Yeah, we had a podcast today where he spoke a little bit more about it. So check that out. It'll also be on i3, inshallah. Something I wanted to talk about is something that might be a little bit personal to you, but you also spoke about this publicly, to be fair.
Okay.
It's about your arrogance.
Yes.
Are you an arrogant person?
الشافعي said التكبر مع المتكبر مرتين, that you have to be arrogant with the arrogant one twice.
Wow.
The question of asking me whether an arrogant person is sometimes, I would say, it's unfair. It's almost as unfair as the controversy question. You know why?
Why?
Because all my life I've been dealing with arrogant people. I've been dealing with David Wood, I've been dealing with Piers Morgan, I'm dealing with, even Jordan Peterson. You can say he's an arrogant man, frankly, especially with what he's been saying.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know if I'm an arrogant man as well. I think I have got, if you ask me personally, Al-Ghazali, he differentiated between arrogance, in the Ihya Ulumuddin, he differentiated between arrogance and vanity.
Mm-hmm.
If we're being honest about the situation, he said the following. He said that arrogance always requires a subject. So you can't be arrogant by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm willing to concede that I do have the disease of the heart, referred to as vanity. Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror. And I spend time saying, wow, these are serious accomplishments that you... I don't know why I'm saying that in front of the mirror. But the point is, sometimes I can fall into self-amazement, self-aggrandizement. I'm not going to lie to you. Self-delusion. Because the thing is, when you're self-amazed, that's a form of delusion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I am suffering from that. Arrogance, really and truly, is batar al-haq wa ghamt an-nas. That's the Islamic definition. So which is sidestepping the truth and belittling the people.
Yeah.
With the Muslims, I don't consider myself better than them.
Yeah.
So that's me being as honest as I can about the situation. But there's always work to be done. That's actually one work. I've got a spiritual teacher.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And every week or month, every month sometimes now, because I'm a bit busy, I report to him. And he said, listen, because I told him my biggest weakness is thinking that I'm better than I actually am.
Yeah.
I told him this directly. He said, look, and he gave me really good advice. He said, anytime you think that you're better than you actually are,
Mm-hmm.
put it down in a diary. Now, I've got a diary, but now it's become a book. And I think now it's going to become like volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. The point is that he gave me some tips. And the tips that he gave me is that, look, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you have certain strong points, but just connect it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I've been trying to do that, because that goes under فَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. The Quranic ayah which says that, and with the blessings of Allah mentioned.
Yeah.
So I think vanity is something I do suffer from.
Yeah.
Arrogance, I think, I don't know. That's something, it's a possibility. Obviously, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من الكبر. No, the person who has one atom's weight of arrogance in his heart will not enter Jannah. So it's a serious crime. I don't know if I qualify for that or not.
Well, based on the definition you gave before that the Prophet ﷺ said, it doesn't seem to, the way you described it.
My wife is a very, very strong critic of me, extremely strong. Yeah. I asked her, am I arrogant? I asked her this question.
Yeah.
She didn't jump at it. She didn't say yes to that.
Yeah, that's good.
Am I vain? As I say, it's possible.
Yeah.
And as I say, that's delusion. So I don't want to be deluded. So that's something I'm working on.
Yeah. Good, alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you. So what would you say, like when you see an arrogant person?
Yeah.
Aside from maybe wanting to stop them up a little bit.
Yeah.
What advice would you want to give to that person?
An arrogant person.
Yeah.
Look, advice doesn't benefit the arrogant. Only situations do.
Or like they're...
Like you can, advice can benefit the arrogant sometimes, but for the most part, it's life that's going to teach them. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Honestly, it's the calamities that are going to teach, like the properly arrogant person.
Yeah.
And obviously, the advice that Allah gives, وَلَا تَمْشِي فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا. That's the advice Allah is giving to people. It says, do not walk in the earth like arrogantly, because you're not going to split the earth, nor are you going to reach the mountains.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I would say to the person.
Amazing. So now that we discussed the arrogance, and I wanted to ask about that first, because this is my follow-up. How can people become inspirational? How can people inspire others?
Look, I mean, what do they want to inspire others to do?
Let's say someone wants to inspire people with Islam or bring people to Islam.
Bring people to Islam, I think it's a little bit different, because you can bring people to Islam without being inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, you can bring people to Islam by just mentioning the tenets of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to bring people to Islam. You just mention the tenets, and it usually resonates with a lot of people. But if we're talking about being an example for the Muslim community and stuff like that, then it's about virtue at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to try and exemplify that virtue is to look at the life of the Prophet, because he exemplified impeccable virtue. That's what he did. That's what he believed. Like, it's very difficult to get the golden mean, that you're not, for example, cowardly on the one hand, but you're not rash on the other. That you're brave and you're wise and you're temperate and you're all those good things.
Yeah.
But that's what the fight is. As a human being, you just need to know that, okay, that's what we're trying to do in this life. We're trying to get the golden mean. We're trying to be as virtuous as possible, and that does require critical self-assessment.
Yeah.
Like, for you to be honest with yourself and say, well, where are my weaknesses? Where can I improve and where can I build upon, and so on.
Amazing. So how on average, how long should a person spend reflecting on themselves?
I think that, look, Umar ibn Khattab said, حَاسِبُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ قَبْلَ أَن تُحَاسَبُوا. Hold yourselves to account before you are held to account. And look, there is no prescription in the Quran for that. Like, as to should it be done daily, should it be done weekly? Obviously, if you do it every single day, that's good. But the thing is, here's the thing. Say if you do istighfar, which is something which is recommended every day. When you do istighfar and you say astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh, for example, it's very difficult to properly do istighfar without admitting your faults.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say it's impossible, because istighfar and proper tawbah, one of the things you need to do is admit that you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'tiraf. You have to admit that you're wrong. And then you have to have nadam, which is literally regret. So the recommended thing is not just to say, okay, well, these are my mistakes. It's to say, these are my mistakes, and I come back to Allah for my shortcomings. And you do that on a daily basis for at least 100 times, or 70 to 100 times.
Wow.
That's probably where dhikr comes in.
That's amazing. May Allah bless you immensely. I think, inshallah, that's the best question to end on. May Allah bless you.
Thank you.
Inshallah, see you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you.